Now, following this, Senator Magnus Abe has ordered the closure of all alternate APC offices in Rivers State following the Supreme Court judgment, which recognized Obobula as the authentic chairman of Rivers APC. Now, Senator Abe, who formerly represented Rivers South East Senatorial District, at an event told his supporters that he accepts the judgment of the Supreme Court in good faith. He called on his supporters to drop all claims to the APC chairmanship in the state.
All local government, ward and state officers with conflicting claims to the Obobula faction are hereby advised to drop all such claims. And all alternate party offices in the name of the All Progressives Congress across the state should revert to private use. They should no longer be used as offices of the All Progressives Congress. We extend our hand of fellowship to Barrister Obobula and his executive, and we wish them well.
Now, Senator Abe, however, expressed disappointment that the APC is yet to accept its wrongdoings and resolve her crisis, even after several court pronouncements.
They are denied every privilege of membership. Even those holding positions in the party were summarily denied their positions, and others were brought in without any election or whatever to take over their positions in broad daylight. It was this exclusion and this treatment that led to the emergence of alternative structures within the party. The battle to establish their rights and have the All Progressives Congress to acknowledge its wrongdoing led to the crisis and to the courts.
All right, you and I know there are lots of things that have followed that judgment by the Supreme Court. But to get a clear picture, joining me this morning is Senator Magnus Abe via the phone. Good morning, Senator Abe.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
Very well. Thank you very much.
All right. So you and I know what has happened. I'm sure you've heard as much as I have. Now, following the Supreme Court's position, there have been a bit of a shift. Igwe Aguma has quit the APC along with some other persons. Did you discover about this move before or after it happened, especially for Igwe Aguma's leaving the party?
Yes, Right Honorable Igwe Aguma spoke with me before he left the party, and he had his reasons. I didn't agree with him that that was the best course of action to adopt, but there has been so much bitterness and hatred towards him and his family within the APC, and he felt that the only reasonable thing for him to do at that time was to leave. But he's a politician. I believe that if conditions in the party become more pliable, himself and others who have left the party may still come back.
Okay. So the headline reads, members loyal to the Abe faction. And so that loyalty has your name in it. Aguma and others leaving. What is that doing? Is that weakening the APC structure or weakening the faction that you created?
You see, headlines are not written by us. They're written by you people. So anybody can choose to write whatever they like as the headline. That's what the headline would read. But the point everybody must remember is that if you remember, Igwe Aguma is actually a member of the minister's faction of the party. He came in when he felt the party was falling apart, and he went to court. And when the court gave judgment in his favor, we backed him up. So he was never actually a member of our faction, so to speak. But that said, he's within his rights as an adult and as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to leave the party or join the party or join any other association or whatever that he wants to do. But right now, as far as I know, all he did was to say that he was leaving the party. So I believe that if conditions within the party become more pliable, I think that a lot of members who have left the party can still come back. I see hope for the party.
All right. Now, still on Aguma, when he left, he put out a statement. I cannot continue to be a member of a political party that endangers and does not give any form of protection to the rights of its members and has no respect whatsoever for its own constitution. but chooses to be run against democratic principles for self-destructive purposes. Now, you said earlier that you agree with Aguma's position, but you do not agree with his action. Do you also share this sentiment based on the statements I just read?
Are you reading the statement to Magnus Abe, or you're reading the statement to Igwe Aguma?
No, I'm reading Aguma's statement to you.
No, you should read Aguma's statement. I didn't make the statement. I made a statement that clearly says what I think. Like I said, Aguma is entitled to his views and his opinions, and he explained to me why he was leaving the party, and I understood his reasons for taking that decision.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Some other opinions shared with the crisis that has been rocking the APC for the longest time. Some people have said that APC crises are internal problems. They should not have made their way to court. They should have been settled internally. Do you agree?
Well, if you go through the history of the crisis, we have always held that view. I have always said, and I continue to say, that the issues within the party are simply based on the massive egos of certain leaders within the party. There is really nothing that was the cause of the crisis in the party that was intractable. What was the problem? There was a Congress, and people wanted to contest the Congress, which is within their rights. I mean, they contest, they either win or they lose. And they paid the party as party members to take part in this Congress. The party collected their money, but the money they were to be issued funds, an order was given by the minister that they should not be issued funds because they were supporters of Senator Abe. That was the origin of the crisis. And when they gathered to protest, if somebody had even come at that time to talk to them or whatever, there would have been no crisis. And even before that, we had a meeting under the chairmanship of the former chairman, the Chief Ikaya, Ibiamo Ikaya, where we had more or less agreed on how to resolve these issues. But all that was truncated. At that point, members had no option than to turn to the court. The judgment of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had given judgment before. They were maligned and abused for offering opinions that didn't favor those who had a particular thing they wanted to hear.
All right. Now, one of the most popular narratives that has come out of this, shared on different platforms, is that Senator Magnus Abe is used forward. If you have any
No, I
questions.
asked a question, sir. I said, does that make sense to you? Does that allegation make sense to you in the light of the history of this thing? Does it make sense to you?
Well, Senator Abe, my opinion on this matter is not relevant. So, stating whether or not it makes
Okay.
sense, it really wouldn't change
Thank
anything.
you.
All right. So, if you have any questions for the senator, send a message to our WhatsApp 080-903-06-416, and of course at Nigeria Info PH on all platforms. Now, Senator Abe, the Supreme Court's position borders on the leadership of the APC and not on reconciliation. Are there any plans for the latter in your agenda?
Well, if you will recall, and if Rivers people will recall, not only have I always been open to reconciliation, but we have always been actively working and pushing for reconciliation within the party, because we understand that a political party can only be victorious when it is united, when it is strong, and when its message is cohesive. A divided party and a dysfunctional party is incapable of achieving victory electorally. So we have always pushed for reconciliation. We have always pushed for peace within the party, and we will continue to do so. And we don't do that out of weakness. We're not doing it because of the Supreme Court judgment. We have always done that whether we win or we lose, because any victory, no matter how sweet it may be at the moment, will become irrelevant and inconsequential in a few months if it does not translate into electoral victory. And we cannot have electoral victory from the court judgment. We must be able to get it by being able not just to appeal to Rivers people, but to convince them that we have a better agenda and a better platform for achieving their own hopes and desires than any other option that may be available to them at this point. So it is for that reason that we have always believed that there is need for a political solution to the challenges facing the party. It is not out of weakness, and it is not out of a loss of option. So we continue to hold that position irrespective of the judgment of the Supreme Court. No matter which way that the judgment went, we will still be pushing for reconciliation within the party, because without it, I really do not see any clear pathway to victory for the APC in Rivers State.
All right.
So that's why we're committed to peace within the party.
Okay.
But of course, that is left for those who have the power to be able to change course and do what is right and necessary in the interest of the party and of Rivers people.
Yeah, well, my question was going to go in that direction. Since you stand for peace and you've made moves towards reconciliation, how has the other side taken your action?
Well, the same way they have always taken it. To the best of my knowledge, I've never heard anybody on the other side talk about peace. I've never heard anybody on the other side talk about the need to put the party together in the state. All I hear all the time is how invectives on myself and my supporters, threats, and all that. But when you're strong and when you know what you're doing and you know what needs to be done, you don't have to be deterred by challenges. That's part of what you overcome in order to get to achieve the things that are important to us as a people. So we will watch, as we have said, the actions and utterances of the party within the next in the immediate future, and we will respond as appropriate. But that ball is not in our own court.
Okay.
We have already played that ball out long ago.
Now we have a couple of questions on WhatsApp. At the moment, what is the fate of those who have bought forms to contest the Rivers LGA polls? Secondly, when would you also get done with your party revalidation? That's from Comrade Boma.
Yes, thank you.
Rick, you and I talk about whether or not the APC is currently positioned to be a viable opposition in River State now that the Supreme Court has spoken and everyone has heard loud and clear. Don't go anywhere.
We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Led to the emergence of alternative structures within the party. The battle to establish their rights and have the All Progressives Congress to acknowledge its wrongdoing led to the crisis and to the courts.
This is the Morning Crossfire on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still the Morning Crossfire 92.3 Nigeria Info. My name is Sam Oracle Chinedu, the words and voice of Senator Magnus Abe ordering the closure of all alternate APC offices in River State, of course, following the Supreme Court's judgment. Now, following that, of course, you and I know that Igwe Aguma decided to leave the party. He announced his exit from Rivers APC and said the party cannot thrive until all aggrieved party members are acknowledged.
A party has not moved forward because they have denied people justice. And even at that, I can challenge you that party in the respective wards, except the effort of the people sitting down here are brought to bear, cannot even register up to 100 people per ward. Therefore, I tell you people, for now, I have gone home. But the battle continues. But I tell you, you cannot govern for 8 years and want to govern for another 8 years in this river state. It's not possible.
All right, and you heard Senator Abe earlier with the interview, said a couple of things, but also said that he was not sponsored by the PDP. What does the PDP have to offer me, he says. Well, tell me what you make of all of this. And now that the Supreme Court has ruled on the leadership of the party, do you see the APC positioning itself as a viable opposition in River State? 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. 0817-923-0007. Of course, WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. Good morning.
Good morning, Sammy.
Good morning.
Okay, my name is Odema.
All right.
Sammy, if you listen to Mr. Magnus Abe, listen to what Igwe Aguma said, I think what APC just settled in the court because the leadership issue. The issue of reconciliation, for me, nobody has touched it. Nobody has talked about it. The Minister of Transportation is not even ready to reconcile. He's not even ready to make peace.
How do you
with
know?
Any of these people. Hello?
How do you know the minister is not ready to make peace?
Because by now I should have been hearing statements from him like Igwe Aguma has said something. When Igwe Aguma said something, he mentioned him indirectly. When Magnus Abe said his own, he mentioned him indirectly. So at least he's expected to say as a father. He's a father to all of them. He's a leader. They all recognize him as a leader. He needs to come out because we need a viable opposition in River State so that today. And he's holding the key. Ahmed is the one holding the key of that opposition. And that's why for those of us we think he's working strictly with Wike to make sure that the Ikwe remains in power in River State. Because I don't see the reason why he should not bring APC together. And I cannot understand.
All right.
So for me, he knows what he's doing. He's just working behind the scenes.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Hello, Sammy. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Ayo from Port Harcourt. I doubt if APC will have another opportunity to be able to provide viable opposition to PDP in River State. And the reason is this. Your last voice, this man, what's his name, the former acting chairman,
Igwe
Aguma. Yeah, you heard what he said. He said, more or less, he said, yes, he's stepping aside, but the battle continues. In other words, they will still go ahead as the election approaches in 2023 to use the court to still scuttle, the chance of APC. Because, frankly speaking, let us face the fact. These people, for me, are actually working for Ines Wike. They are working for PDP. And the reason why I say so is this. There are some politicians I won't mention their name. They claim they belong to APC. They ask people to collect forms. But then, check it deeply. Some of these people have accepted appointments under Years of Wike's government. Some of them have been employed in some institutions in this River State by Wike. And yet they claim they belong to APC. They are only there just to ensure that there's no opposition for PDP in River State. Thank you.
All right. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Would you like to turn off your radio?
Sorry for that. Kinsley Chem is my name. I'm calling for Ordnance Kingdom.
Go ahead.
Yes, I've been listening, rapt attentive, and I feel that Senator Abe, I don't know why he didn't do the line of Honorable Igor Aguma, maybe because he's under appointment as NMPC. Because when things were going under him too, a party must have leadership. And when things go your way, it's okay. If it doesn't go your way, you form an opposition within your party. It's not way to, and somebody mentioning Ikwere, and I thought you would have called him to order. But Ikwere is a tribe, it's not an individual. I don't like that. Thank you very much.
All right. Now over to Facebook. Isaac in Diffreke says the All Progressives Congress has gradually come to an end. New political party will soon emerge to replace the APC. Eba de Bune, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Senator, you fought a good fight, but enemies did not allow you. God is with you. You will excel wherever you go. Jerry Beer, what a polished politician. You're an asset to democracy. And Comrade Sobomate Obene, enjoy your relegation, he says. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, Charles from Mbode.
All right.
I think it is very difficult for the APC to form a formidable opposition here in River State.
Why is that?
The look of things, the crisis, to me, is still yet not over. We just won in the court, but within the human circle, that bitterness is still there. And people are asking that they will still make all possible bets to see how they will scuttle the effort of the party here in River State. To me, to what Api was saying, I wanted to ask him, why didn't he follow what the national leadership of the party said, that the party should not take part in the forthcoming local government election in River State, but they still went ahead to sell forms to the people. By law, what went to court was about leadership. The court have said that leadership of Igor Aguma is illegal. If it is illegal has been issued. So I don't know what application they still need any longer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now back to Facebook. Ekima Reginald says, Nyesom Wike is a friend of Magnus Abe, so he should move to the PDP. If he feels the governor would give him the ticket to run as the governor. Charles says, my question to Abe, the national wing of your party gave a directive that Rivers should not partake. That's exactly what the last caller said. Vic Tory. I like how he made that two names. Abe is the only saga in Rivers APC, he says. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Chinedu, this is Gift calling from Yenegoa.
Talk to me.
Chinedu, I don't know if you followed up this matter from the get-go, then you will understand where Magnus Abe is coming from. Forget about sentiment. The man has said it all. The problem of APC in River State don't even look any other way than the transportation minister. Because the same thing played out here in Yenegoa, Bayelsa State, between the former state agric minister and today state for petroleum, Timothy Seva. I'm telling you, these are the leaders to call everybody, all dissenting voices together. You cannot tell me you cried foul from PDP that made you 2 times speaker, 2 times governor, and you said PDP did this, did that, and you left PDP for APC. You are still allowing those same things that you complained of in APC. And somebody will be telling me that Magnus benefited from this same illegality, so it should continue. You brought in Teleko from nowhere to sideline this very man that stood firm against even his own brother, from Niger Delta, which is Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. We know what they did then, and people were angry with them. That is why I'm telling you then there was no penny from anywhere, but they decided to follow APC that was not having a vision. Then today, after gaining power, you are telling this man, leave the party if you are not comfortable with what I'm doing. I need one of the party.
All right.
They are all stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you very much, but I must move on now. His response on the fate of candidates that purchased forms for the LGA election shows he may not have come to terms with the reality. He spoke as though he were the chairman of the APC. I expected him to defer the matter to the party's decision to take. The Supreme Court has told him that. Party decision is final. That's Dio from Port Harcourt on WhatsApp. Good morning. All right, moving on. Good morning. Hello, good morning.
Morocco, good morning.
Morning.
Morocco, it's okay, Morocco.
Go ahead.
Morocco, I want to ask a question. What is the election with Lee Meba? Where, as a senator, what the internal democracy, what is the election with Lee Meba? If he has hearing me, what is the election with Lee Meba in the Senate? Was the internal democracy there? Was it the popular candidate there to go for Senate? Two, I want to ask Abe, is the intention to remain in APC to make sure APC dies or to APC to grow up again? We see Abe in this Rivers politics. Abe is one of the man most people love in Rivers State as the stand gentle Rivers man. But this quest for power has taken out the backward in Rivers State. This quest for power. Power comes from God. Nobody gives power. But Abe want to make sure he drives the power by himself to get the power. God gives power. Nobody gives power. So Abe has stayed in God, taking APC to court. What which is the master, the Minister of Transportation, who made him a senator, who made him a SSG. He didn't even promise him to go for Senate. Limeford was the president to go to Senate. The Minister of Transportation gave him that electoral seat to go for free. Why is fighting the thing that has saved you? It is his politics. What happened in Rivers State today? This APC chair and PDP chairman that is doing Rivers State today, they are handpicked by the leaders of the party for make a chairman. Nobody went for primary. That's how politics run in everywhere in this country.
Thank you very much.
To say what the because it's not saying the right thing to Rivers people.
All right. Now over to Facebook. Whatever he says, I will do exactly. Senator Abe is the only repentant soul I can count on in our state. That's from Chika Stephen Kinakawo on Facebook. Another person is saying that Abe should move to the PDP on Facebook, and Barinem Bola simply says, that is my leader. Let's go over to WhatsApp. It's very possible for the APC to form a credible opposition in River State, going by what happened in 2019 election in the midst of the crisis. 2-day support of Amechi to Awara. Everyone saw the outcome that led to a 3-week delay of the governorship result. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Samuel. I'm calling you from Takon.
Talk to me, Samuel.
Yeah. What I want to say is between APC, what is happening in APC. I don't know whether these APC people, they forget that Amechi and the Magnus Abe, two of them is the real chieftain of the APC. Because I remember when Amechi left this PDP, it was Magnus Abe that was backing him up. And two of them run the party together. We are hearing about Amechi and Magnus. It's not all these people that they are coming on board, imposing Magnus Abe, saying all sorts of things about Magnus Abe. If we talk of APC today in Rivers State, we know about Magnus Abe and Amechi. So it's only two of them can settle their differences. Not all those people coming on board saying I'm an APC, Magnus should go and see that, this one should go and see that. So Magnus and Amechi should settle each other so that peace will reign in that party. So not all those people coming on board saying Magnus will go and rest, do and this. Without Magnus in River State, in APC River State, nothing can function in APC. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. And back to WhatsApp, I think the APC is in better hands of the current leadership. The other groups appear to be romancing with the PDP the more, although it also seems that Mechi would always play some subtle politics that ensures a particular people in Rivers continues to be in power. This narrative. All right. Thank you for sending that. Many more comments and thoughts waiting to be taken, but I'm almost out of time. At 9 o'clock, I have another conversation. I'll be speaking with the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Public Affairs as Ajuri Ngelale. We'll be talking about mobilizing private capital for Nigeria's public infrastructure. Of course, you know, the federal government always has a project. Else, I would not be speaking with Ajuri. So there's something coming from Abuja. I'm certain you and I would want to know about it. There's no better song to play than something that reflects the genre of reggae. So I'm leaving you in the safe and capable hands of Bob Marley as that takes us till 9 o'clock. Don't go anywhere.
The Morning Crossfire.